Hello guys, so welcome to today's show. My name is CHUKS and you're on JFL TV, the home of football. So if today is the first time we see our program, we will bring you the latest Arsenal news updates as they drop all over the world. So from now, and we'll start with today's morning show. So this morning, I can listen to Charles Watt's podcast. Yes. So Baba can talk about the Gyokeres deal now. He can explain, say, Victor Gyokeres say Arsenal go try to fix the deal, solve am this week. And the reason we make am dey talk say Arsenal go solve the deal this week, na wetin me sef I don talk in the past because of the deadline wey Arteta don put, because they go like to carry the players go pre-season. So this week, according to Charles Watt, is going to be a key week because today is Sunday, is the beginning of a new week. So it's going to be very, very key. Even though some other sources don already talk say Arsenal don already agree. Say they will pay Sporting the thing wey they ask for. Yes. But do you know that the 80 million euros wey Sporting dey talk say make we pay, we don't really have a problem paying that because I think this particular detail has been missing in many analysis. Sporting said we should pay 80 million. Arsenal did not say we will pay 75. Arsenal said we will pay the 80 million. Where the disconnect is the structure of the add-ons. Now there the issue there. Because I think, and I yesterday when I sleep, one of the things, it's like we are mixing a lot of things up because I think the information in the public domain is that Sporting and Arsenal are disagreeing on, like, they are saying Arsenal pay 80. Arsenal, they say they go pay 75. I think that has been the narrative out there, but that is not entirely the case. Sporting say, what do they want now? 80 million. We agree that we'll give them 80 million. Sporting know that 80 million will not come as fixed. There will be add-ons. We too, we agree there will be add-ons. Now, what is the structure of the add-ons? Sporting say they want 10 million in add-ons. Arsenal say they will give them 15 million in add-ons. So the major issue now the structure of the add-ons. So I think it is very, very important that we set the record straight and we make everything clear. So that is why people like me, people like Fabrizio Romano, people like Charles Watts, so many of you believe say this deal cannot collapse because now very, very minor detail. Now be waiting hold this deal. And everybody they try to, like Fabrizio Romano, they are all trying to win their own different war. What make this thing messy? That because Gyokeres and agents they vex say even waiting Arsenal already offer for now. This 80 million will Arsenal say they will give now. Because whether you like it or yes, those add-ons, they are still performance related incentives. So they say they're very, very realistic to achieve. Which means at the end of the day, we will still give them that money. Because it's going to be, okay, if you score 20 goals, we'll give you extra 5 million. Okay, we'll win we'll have a top 4. No, it has to be something relatable, something realistic. So their own growls, now say, you be tell us say 70 million dey okay, why you can't raise am to 80 million? That be their own anger. So make we dey understand every party's point of view. That be their own anger, and rightfully so, they deserve to be angry. Because wetin Sporting sef do, they're no good. On this podcast of today, Sunday, we will show you many times that Sporting Lisbon don't do the same thing wey dem do to Gyokeres. No be the first time. I have like 6 or 7 different cases. Sporting did the same thing. You see this Sporting, they are very, very dishonest people. Now, continuing with Charles Watts, Baba Kone explains it. What if Rodrygo Varandas do yesterday is just a power play. They try to let people know, say, I am not weak. Yes, because since Gyokeres is on text time, say, I don't go on strike, I no go come. Do you know that Gyokeres is not expected to go on strike? He will still get there. So he has to respond. That's why yesterday I made the analogy of chess. You don't make your move, Gyokeres make him move, say, I'm on strike. Varandas has to reply. Varandas don't give am a move, say, no, Yawa, continue your strike. Ajay, you no go anywhere. You go there 3 years. Now, the agent said, put in your chest. Oh, yeah, we'll drop a video. Get the evidence. We'll never want to drop. We will drop them. So, Moku just watch how all this is going to unfold at the end of the day. But one thing is clear. This week when we enter, this particular deal, under all circumstances, supposed to be resolved. We are supposed to get a logical conclusion of this deal this week. If it not gonna happen, and they are going to say we have a problem. So we'll just watch and see how things unfold. Now, away from that, the London Evening Standard, whenever they talk about their own, say Arsenal are working on fresh Gyokeres deal. You get, say after weighing their next move, after the sporting president talk, then you talk, say okay, Arsenal will try to see how they will resolve this particular situation. They ask what next for Gyokeres. It could be a case of who blinks first. Chess now, you get, now game, cat and mouse. So it will be a case of who blinks first. Gyokeres already cleared their doubts. Say, immediately come back. President don't talk in you, you get. So for Arsenal, they'll try to wrap up the deal anytime so without wasting much time. Now, even now, Arsenal, all the talk say, see this deal. Sporting are not going to keep Gyokeres. And Arsenal hold all the power because the player only wants Arsenal. You know what I explain to people about leverage in business. In this particular case, Arsenal hold all the leverage because the player tell them say now only Arsenal won't go. This will not be Mudrik. We don't know what they find. Only. Even if other clubs comes in, like Manchester United, Arsenal are convinced his head will not change. Arsenal just have to wait and get it done. For me personally, I go prefer me. I don't talk yesterday. I go prefer me just pay the money. Just pay. After all, you already agreed the 80 million. Whether you give them upfront, because upfront can be fixed. Whether you give them the upfront or not, you've already agreed it. And at the end of the day, those performance-related add-ons will still be achieved, which means you still pay the 80 million. So why are you dragging your feet? I was watching Robbie. Robbie they explain say, when you look at the way the case is now, Bertrand already gets your own budgets. I think get your own budgets. Then as Sporting Lisbon, they increase the price because the agent already tell Bertrand say 70 million be the agreement, so everywhere go good. So now what's Arsenal already planned? Now Sporting can add extra 10 million on top. You don't encroach into our budgeting cycle. So that's why Arsenal they somehow drag their feet, and if they're dragging their feet, are they wrong? You get. So when you look at that question, you're going to say yes, Arsenal on their own place, they are right. But I'm surprised that Arsenal fans they blame Arsenal as if they are doing something wrong. In their own area, they are right. Because when you look at the evidence, we plenty today, you go not say this Sporting Lisbon have a bad antecedent. They have a bad history of doing things like this. So that's why I know they really rush to conclusion. Now, when you also look at what the Telegraph is saying. They say Arsenal have been told Gyokeres will be their player once the asking price is met, with the Sporting striker going on strike to force through his move to the Emirates Stadium. Now, this particular narrative, everything why they talk, say, you know, they're entirely right. The asking price is 80 million. We have agreed to pay 80 million. But where the problem lies is the structure of the add-ons. So not really the asking price, because 65 plus 15 is 80. It's not 75. You don't get the mathematics now. So I think the narrative in the media also painted Arsenal negative lights. We are not fighting for the asking price because it was 80, so we'll pay 80. That's why they talk say this Sporting, they know what they do. The end goal of Sporting is they won't drag this thing till when the transfer window will close, the player will come remain there. But the player they let them say, even if you drag them, say the window come close, I know we play for you again. We go court, we'll drag this matter down because we get our own evidence. Say now you breach what we agree. You get, so everybody gets their own different angle where they fight from. Sporting no want make the player go. That's why they are dragging their feet. You understand how everything they go. Now, when you look at Graham Bailey can explain say the club's sources have revealed that Arsenal's camp and Victor Gyokeres have not been affected by Federico Veranda's comments yesterday, and the Gunners expecting it to happen and thus continue, because for Arsenal, they are seeing that internal battle, really concern them. Whatever is going between Gyokeres, they're saying Gyokeres. Whatever is happening between Gyokeres and Hassan Ketinkaya, that one now they're saying Shetinkaya. So and that one, and the president, concern Arsenal. So that's just the observe, but I want to believe Arsenal will wrap the deal up to be very, very key. Now, another journalist, Henry Winter, who's a football writer, only explains say the fee for Gyokeres' move to Arsenal is virtually agreed, with just add-ons being debated and dealing with the agent's substantial cuts. which Arsenal have been strong on. So now only this Henry, is it Henry Abihari? Henry Winter, that be the only person who actually open my eyes, say, what people don't talk all over online? It's actually wrong. That the actual fee has been agreed, the 80 million. We don't have a problem with that. Where the issue they gone are the add-ons. Because 65 plus 15 is 80. So now the structure of that 80, that's the problem there. Nobody say maybe Arsenal they offer them 75. As all of us want to talk since. That is the wrong narrative. You get? So I love the superior argument. I mean them I concur. Say yes, we agree to give you 80. But just like Galatasaray and Napoli, they agreed to pay that 75. But the structure is the problem. Galatasaray talks, okay, we'll give you 45 up front. The later will give you 35 instrumentally. All together, no be the same thing. I'll be 40 and 35. No be the same thing. But that one no agree. You get? So that's the thing. So at the end of the day, now structure, and I don't think it is something big for the deal to collapse. So I do me this year. All right. So away from that, so we're going to get from Fabrizio Romano. We're going to explain. Say it's a very tense situation between all parties involved in the Gyokeres story. There's still a tense situation, but Arsenal keep working on the deal. All parties want to win their own war in this particular story. Now, moving forward, Perry Grooves can they explain what's in sources. Tell them about Victor Gyokeres, and the Arsenal fans will actually love it. So, Baba can they explain, say, this Gyokeres, where they see so, say this guy an Arsenal fan from when in the very, very little. Gyokeres was an Arsenal fan as a kid. So that is why the guy really want to represent Arsenal. But I never knew this because former Arsenal attacker Perry Grooves has been speaking to his sources about Gyokeres recently, and he has been told that the striker was a gunner as a kid. He said on TalkSport, my sources tell me, and I'm not making this up, Gyokeres was if now Gyokeres I call Gyokeres when I take like that. So they say Gyokeres was a gunner as a little kid. He's always supported Arsenal and it's been well documented that he wants to come to us. That's the most frustrating one because there'll be a massive sign of relief from our parts of North London. We got the centre. See, the Coco is an Arsenal fan. Yes, I'm happy with that. But both of the CI rating they go well. I don't say last thing will come here because no matter when you look at all the whole possible outcomes of this particular deal, every way lead to Arsenal. No matter how you want to look at, every way lead to Arsenal. And there is no way Sporting will have an unhappy player in their camp. It's not possible. You get? So we'll just watch. All right, let's bring you our first message from one of our sponsors, Porter Logistics and Delivery Services. So they are into import and exports, pick up delivery, doorstep delivery, courier delivery, haulage, transport logistics, dispatch, and errand services. So they ship to USA, Canada, UK, and Europe, and they help you receive from these destinations also. So if you want to reach out to them, you can call them on +234 8075478645 or 08092445644, and their head office is at Block D, Shop 41, Binokono Ultra Modern Markets, Ojota, Lagos, and their Ikorodu office is at 28 Oribu Road, Italewa, Ikorodu, Lagos State. So if you're interested in any of the services, please do give them a call. Now, away from that, so Dean James, let us know, say, in get trend of many times where Sporting Lisbon have been completely dishonest, that although the two plenty, not everything of people post, but at least post up to like 6. Now, do you know that Marcos Rojo had to push for a move to Manchester United after he done submit transfer requests and refused to train? Like Gyokeres, he refused to train. In fact, he went on strike to force the transfer. Marcos Rojo no go Manchester United at the end of the day. But Sporting Lisbon say, they go discipline, you get. Now, that's number one. Number two, Sporting claimed Inter Milan and Joe Mario used a backdoor contract termination to allow a free move to Benfica, breaching a 30 million compensation clause and announced legal action, which is false. Ultras allegedly abducted Bruma in 2013 as well over a contract renewal dispute that was supposed to have been organized by then president of SCP, that's Sporting. They claim that Ultras do, but now their own president, now organizer. End there. Now, after Sporting agreed a free transfer to Atletico Madrid for Gelson Martins, Sporting Lisbon come claim say Atletico breach the deal by failing to compensate for a release clause. After you don agree free transfer, because dem fail to breach to give you a release clause money, Sporting press FIFA that they are entitled to a compensation of 100 million. At the end of the day, they come settle the deal for 22 million. You see the mago wey these people dey do. You know, end there. Leicester City believe they had an agreement for Adrian Silva wey they play for Sporting, but Sporting denied any offer was submitted and threatened to report Leicester to FIFA. They do all these things, especially when they don't want the player to leave, when they want to keep the player. Now, the transfer of William Carvalho to West Ham collapsed late. Why? Sporting claimed illegal contact and threatened a FIFA complaint. West Ham dismissed it as attention seeking because they don't want to make the player go. Now, Sporting delayed paying instrumental fee to Slovan Bratislava for Andras Portar, and we are taking to court over the unsettled payments. Now, look at this one. Tottenham Hotspur's move for Pedro Porro is off. This one na David Onstein report am o. You get. Tottenham Hotspur's move for Pedro Porro is off after Sporting Lisbon went back on terms of proposed deal. The 23-year-old was distraught after Sporting Lisbon president told him that following Saturday's League Cup final, he will be allowed to leave. Later, the contract they no go allow him again. Later, Pedro Porro no join Spurs. He joined, but make you know, say they have this track record of being very, very dishonest. For all of you, when they blame Arsenal, forgetting that this Sporting Lisbon, they are very, very dishonest. You get? That's why Arsenal don't want to get into their messy affair. Arsenal just do one corner, just the watch. So, but I think this week, when push comes to shove, Arsenal will run the level of good. Even Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, the same way. Now, so the guy said they don't let him go. He had to fight to leave. They be like prison. I don't just understand. They don't want this Gyokeres are G. They don't want to make him go. And no just the watch but I know I get belief say at the end of the day, he will still leave. Alright, so I'm getting another breaking news from Fabrizio Romano on Dani Ceballos, that Dani Ceballos will be allowed to leave Real Madrid this summer according to AS. So if anybody is interested, they go get her. Now, away from that also, so we're going to get another report, say Christian Mosquera will be joining Arsenal this week, according to Henry Winter, who's a football broadcaster and a football writer. So Baba explains, say yes, say the guy will join Arsenal this week because Arsenal want to much. Even yesterday they talk and say, don't forget say this deal still there. Because Arsenal will try to see whether they can carry the guy say go pre-season. Yeah, so if it's possible, they will run and they will sign him. If it's not possible, well, they can't do more than themselves. Now, when they talk about Arteta deadline, some people wonder, so actually, which deadline again they talk about? Should be the day for Spain already. See, that Spain own, now like pre-season before the pre-season. That one, they just the flex, yes, they just the bond. The main pre-season, we will travel on the 19th, we go Singapore. Where on the 23rd, we go play Arsenal, we go play AC Milan on the 23rd. Then on the 27th, we will play Newcastle. Then on the 31st, we will play Tottenham Hotspur before we come back to the Emirates Stadium, come play those Atletico Bilbao and Co for the Emirates Cup. You get? So now the main one be this. Our pre-season calendar now be this. We will travel on the 19th. And I think I don't tell Bertha. See, these people where you want sign, especially these Gyokeres, bring them. I want make you follow us travel on the 19th. That's why they tell people say time still there. That is why I don't talk and see and say this week is going to be key. Charles Watt said don't talk and this morning say this week is going to be key because of the Arteta deadline. You get? So that's so it be. Apart from the deadline, transfer window far gone. Only September go end. But based on the Arteta deadline, we say now the deadline be the if we don't pass that deadline and the player never enter, and then we go come dey worry. Deadline never reach. Now don't the rig, not the I don't just understand. So that's why me I dey calm. You get? I don't really for this week go the enter. Here we go is certain. Now let's give another message from another of our sponsor, Mobile World Associates and Co Limited. They're into construction services, dredging, canalization, real estate, and shore protection works. They're also into mechanical and fabrication services and procurement services nationwide. So if you want to reach out to them, you can call them on +234 8064642234, and they're located at number 7 Ekeniwa Road, Orazi, opposite St. Stephen's Anglican Church, Port Harcourt. So if you're interested in any of their services, please do reach out to them. Now, Away from that, we're going to get information say Rodrygo to Arsenal. We don't get boost. Now, according to the Sun, they say Arsenal have received a major boost in the race to sign Rodrygo from Real Madrid. The Brazilian is a long-term target of the Gunners and is thought to be up for sale this summer. He could now be prioritizing the move to the Emirates Stadium. In fact, reports in Spain claim that the guy will snub Liverpool in favor of a move to Arsenal. Whether this is true, whether this is false, that is not the thing we need you look at. Because Liverpool don't come now talk say yesterday I saw that report say Liverpool don't come all out say they won't sign the guy based on say nobody don't reduce their stance say they will fit sell am. Now based on the way Luis Diaz dey pressure Liverpool say he won't leave, so Liverpool won't come sell Luis Diaz, they bring in Rodrygo to replace him. You get now if truly say this guy go snub us, do we have 100 million euros in our transfer kitty to buy Rodrygo? Although when we say 100 million in our transfer kitty, that's about 86 million pounds. Nobody say we can't carry the money 86 million pounds. Can't go give Real Madrid. No, I know say even if a deal will be struck, it's going to be in add-ons, like I say add-ons in instrumental payments. You get instrumental payments must involve. Even the 86 million add-ons go involve. You get if in the year maybe 75 million, like I think Gyokeres be like that kind of level. But say they mention 800, don't be so go give them 100 here the wine. So that's so it be. But do we really have that financial leeway? And where they come from? But I don't really know. No, just the watch. But if the guy come in, I'll be highly surprised because I know go lie for you. What me they see where Arsenal go do be say Madueke don't fall in, the building chase go fall in, Mosquera go fall in, Gyokeres go fall in. You get any other person will come in a bonus. Now waiting me they see any other person will still come in again a bonus, especially when Trossard does not leave. Now the way me they see her. Because how would they do am? Trossard dey, Martinelli dey, they'll come bring in Rodrygo. Like how? Imagine say we can go this season, nobody can get injury. How are they going to manage all this big squad? I don't really know, but it makes sense say we get the squad and we no can use them. That's say we no get them and we can't need them. You understand that logic? So it be. All right, moving on. So we're going to see another report where they call it talk say Arsenal and Chelsea they move for Barcelona midfielder Casado. I don't see this report. I don't see him before. But now they hear say, okay, so the guy get 100 million release clause, although no be that one won't go pay. So we'll follow them discuss. And why are we going for Casado? Now because Barcelona is in a situation whereby they have to sell before they can buy. And not just to sell any shit packer, they have to sell many assets to generate revenue. You get so that they can register players because the financial situation with them day, really makes sense, good. You get so and you say La Liga president Tebas, they smile. So but more just the watch, most see how all these things go unfold as we look at. Now, I saw this particular report on the Sun this morning and I was very, very happy. So they say Christian Nogard has a unique record. New Arsenal star Christian Nogard has scored 11 goals in the Premier League, with 9 of those 11 goals scored coming from dead ball situation like cross and nod. The guy did not do anything. Now, the contract said this has made him the midfielder with the highest percentage in the history of the Premier League for players with 10 or more goals. Like highest midfielders, we don't score 10 or more goals with head. You get already at the set piece. So Christian Nogard, he don't score 9 in the history of the Premier League. Look the people that they mention alongside them. None of these people they play football again. David France, Ivan Campo, Vinny Jones. Yeah. Why is this news palatable to me? Why am I happy with this news? It lets you know, say that one will resign. Why they talk say this guy na another headmaster who don't add to a team of headmasters. Because when you look at the team of giants that they create, set pieces, free kick, all the set pieces is going to be very, very key. Nicolas Jova, when they decide this guy going to lick in lips, say, very happy. Because when the set piece comes in, who you want mark? Magala time be our points mark. Magala you go meet, I be go there with Christian Nogard. Nogard not be like say they be the tallest, so but he's a big leap. He gets jump power. That be the good thing about it. So it's a very good record. I love it. So we'll see how it will be beneficial to us for next season. Now, today, incidentally, is the final of PSG versus Chelsea. Me, I support PSG. I don't go lie for you because all those my Chelsea fans, Chelsea friends. If Chelsea go win like this, I don't go rest. I don't go rest. One don already tell me say after the match he go call me. I say you go call me, you go Ajay, you go run. Oh, after this match, oh, you go turn this match. Say you no go watch and finish. You know that kind that song wey dey sing of Innocent one by one. They don dey go Ajay, you no go watch and finish. But we just dey watch sha. But Chelsea can still win. They no be small thing. All right, my dear followers. So the biggest news of the day. So now the fact Charles Watts let us know say Arsenal will try to wrap up this Gyokeres deal this week according to all the signs, symbols, and indices waiting for in front. And I would myself, I believe 100 because this week our movement for preseason will happen. All right, my dear followers. So I think it's a prime place for us to call the show and ends that come your way in the evening to give the evening news to them. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day and game out, right, guys? Ciao.